I think what's the most important about a Montessori education is probably the way we serve the entire child, that we aren't just paying attention to the academics, that we're looking at the emotional development, how they're feeling, how they're thinking.
I think that children in a Montessori school are taught to think for themselves, to discover on their own. It enables them when they are out in our big world to think about the choices that they're making, how their choices are affecting those around them.
From the very beginning, and you could start at 18 months, you are encouraged to try things and to learn by experience, and it invites seeking knowledge.
My students come to school so excited. What are we doing today?
What separates Montessori from other methods of education is freedom of choice. The kids have, of course, direction, but they are free to choose how they go about getting to where they need to be.
I'm trying to teach creative children who think and solve their problems, that life is a process. It's not so much the outcome.
Looking at their emotions and what they're great at and what needs more improvement. It's looking at not only their academic, but what's around them in their environment.
Maria Montessori, she, from a scientific point of view, looked at human beings and just said, how can we best help a human develop?
If the child is not happy psychologically in the classroom, then it's sort of pointless to try to move forward for any of those other things. So I think what makes us unique is we're looking at the social, the emotional, the behavioral, and the academic.
My head isn't thinking about, the result, it's thinking about where I am with that child at that moment.
What will intrigue them? What will entice them to explore and discover and learn more? How can we prepare the environment for the child that's going to be in my classroom?
Teaching the whole child is not just teaching their mind and filling them with academics, but teaching them emotionally and teaching them about conflict resolution and peace and good morals and what it means to be a member of a community and to strive to make that community better.
It's about the practical life. So essentially, we're getting the kids hands-on experience.
So if you come in and an environment is completely prepared for a student to become engaged and to learn, then they're going to want to pull that stuff off of the shelves and engage themselves in it.
I think one of the best experiences that I've had with an alumni, this was a college student, and asking, what did a Montessori education give you that maybe a traditional education wouldn't have? And she thought for a moment and she said that a Montessori education allows me to think outside of the box.
Rather than just memorization, they're actually discovering and building and manipulating materials to make all the different math and geometry formulas.
Older children are helping younger children. It's boosting their self-esteem. Younger children are observing older children doing more complicated work, and they're excited to move ahead.
It makes them curious. They have confidence, they have independence, they can speak well.
If you were to go out into the world and get a job, you'll see that same setup. You're going to have the people who have been there for a while, and the new ones will be learning from them.
In a Montessori classroom, a lot of emphasis is put on the independence of a student or a child. There's a lot of emphasis put on grace and courtesy and how you treat others. We kind of collectively work in here really nicely as a group, but you're also noticed for your individuality.
My own individual relationship with each student is critical. We're so fortunate to be able to know them well for 3 years. It's important to have many moments to truly spend with them and honor them and really come to know them as not just learners, but as human beings.
The teachers remain for a long time, which is wonderful, and so it has very much a family feel to it. I would say that the faculty and staff are some of the most dedicated people I have ever worked with.
I just see how different they take care of the world. They really care for other human beings. They really are intrinsically motivated, and they really try to be their best.
I really want my students to be global citizens. I want them to feel like they have a connection with people who are different from them.
To create a confident, autonomous individual who can go out into the world and feel like their ideas and opinions are valued and important.
We want them to help them to recognize that it's not just about us.
I want them to be passionate about education. I want them to be enriched in the materials. I want them to be leaders. I want them to go out into the world and have the Montessori education in the background be their stepping stone that they can then provide to their community.